My name is Sharon Kleinbaum, and I am now the Senior Rabbi Emerita of Congregation Beit Simchat Torah in New York City. I now run a project called the Beacon Project, which is a religious, multi-faith, and secular movement to create light on our streets and in our hearts in responding to the rising fascism in our world today. And I'm dedicated my whole life to figuring out what God's purpose is for me. I'm thrilled to be here. SVARA is a very important community in my landscape, my emotional, my spiritual, my intellectual, my religious landscape. When I was at CBST as senior rabbi, Benay Lappe was a JTS student and a congregant at Congregation Beit Simchat Torah, and a very important teacher of Torah. And I hired her to be our first director of education at CBST, and she instituted our adult learning program called Lehrhaus Judaica, named, of course, to honor the Lehrhaus Judaica that Rosenzweig created in Europe. And the Lehrhaus Judaica continues to exist to this day, and it stands as a beautiful legacy to the learning and to the teaching that Benay brought to us then. I think for many of us, we understand how it is to survive in difficult times, and not to assume that we will get it all handed to us in loving and creative and thoughtful ways, and to not feel defeated by fascism or by hatred. My strongest message I keep repeating to all those who are experiencing a contraction is that it was wrong of us ever to think that the world is a constantly opening flower. Life is full of ups and downs, and so are the societies in which we live. If we caved in as Jews the first time a society contracted and made it difficult for us, those of us who are here today would not be here. It's because we had ancestors long before the 20th century who understood what it is to create community in the midst of oppression, and to not only focus on our sense of being victims of that oppression, but to know we have a great deal to offer and to teach each other and to support each other and to live really full and rich lives and not to be defined by them. You know, it says in Pirkei Avot, Bimkom she'eino anashim, in a place where there's no humanity. It's exactly that time, and the verb that's used is we're supposed to hishtadel, to strive to be human. It doesn't say simply just be human. We have to strive. It's a process. Every day we fall down, we get back up again. The Dalai Lama says, what's the definition of spiritual wholeness? Diminishing the gap between falling down and getting back up. Of course we're going to fall down. Of course there are failures. Of course we're going to screw up. But how do we diminish the time between that and getting back up again? And we're living in a world where humanity is on the run. So precisely now we have to strive to express, to be, to strengthen those muscles of humanity inside each one of us. And at the center of it all, and I keep saying this, it's not just Nachman who said that joy is the most important mitzvah, but I really do believe that joy is a spiritual act and a political act of resistance. And that remains my most important teaching.